0 and a matchup played in the 1920 season. Ian Lewis and Dion McCauley were the goal scorers for Belize in the victory, as you see the teams taking to the playing surface now. Blue-clad officials at the center of it all. We get set for the pregame ceremony at Stade Municipal de Dr. Edmard Lama, opened in 2007 in Remire-Montjoly near Cayenne. And with the teams in position, we will step aside for the pregame ceremony before we get to opening kickoff. The national anthems of the two teams before we get set for kickoff at Stade Municipal, Dr. Edmard Lama, near Cayenne in French Guiana. It's French Guiana up against Belize, the hosts in the yellow and blue, the guests in their white with blue. Each team looking for its first win here in Group C in Nations League B action. St. Vincent and Grenadines leads the group on 3 points entering the day. Bermuda and French Guiana next after a draw in their opening affairs, and then Belize looking for its first point after falling in its first matchup 2-1 against St. Vincent and Grenadines. There are the starting lineups for today's contest, beginning with the home side, French Guiana. French Guiana with a couple of changes to its lineup today, including in goal, where Marcos Buisson will get the start ahead of the opening game starter, Donovic Leon. When it comes to the officials, Hakeem Harvey leads the crew. Other changes for French Guiana today. Ulrich Pereira Souza starts ahead of Tervillis Eriksson at center back. That was a change made partway through the first game. In the midfield, Verlino Albioni will get the start ahead of Max Gourpi. That a change for today's game, and also a change from the opening game. Ludovic Ball will start as a forward in place of Miguel Abo. When it comes to Belize, a couple of changes. At center back, Eugene Martinez in for Jerron Maivet. That was also a change that took place in the opening game. And at midfield, Alden Renault starts ahead of Daryl Maivet. So the teams with different looks from their opening matches, and they're hoping for different results from their opening match, as they both seek their first 3 points of the competition. Well, French Guiana and Belize are playing here. The other game in the group says St. Vincent and Grenadines taking on Bermuda. First ever Nations League meeting between those two sides. The only previous meeting of any kind, with St. Vincent and the Grenadines winning that matchup 16 years ago, a 3-0 victory over Bermuda for St. Vincent and Grenadines. We'll see how that one plays out in the other action in the group today, but we're all set to go in this one. Great to have you along. French Guiana up against Belize. The hosts, as mentioned, they're predominantly yellow with blue, and the visitors in white. French Guiana sets up 4-4-2, 4-3-3 for Belize. Just about set to get it all going in this vital match in Concacaf Nations League, League B play, as these two Group C rivals get set to square off once again. French Guiana, a territorial collectivity of France on the northeast coast of South America, bordered by Suriname to the west, Brazil to the east and south, has a population of about 300,000, and Cayenne, the biggest city, is where this game is being played, or on the outskirts thereof. And we are underway with the opening kick. Be interesting to see how French Guiana comes out here, playing on their home field for the first time in the competition after traveling to Bermuda for their opener. And it has to be said that they had the vast majority of play in that game, were just not able to score. So in many respects, looking to repeat the performance and just get some production offensively, see if they can come away with the result. Belize, perhaps unfortunate not to take a single point from its opener after the 79th minute own goal decided the game. Nana Mensah, the goal scorer for Belize in the 2-1 loss against St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as we get a ball into the box in the early moments. So that ragged in the early moments as the teams find their legs. Warm conditions, you can see the breeze in some ways along the uniforms of the players. The temperature in and around 30 degrees Celsius for much of the day. French Guiana working it through the midfield. Mikhail Kalino plays it ahead. Close marking prevented Verlino Abbioni from returning it to Kalino. Abbioni into the match today, did not start the opening match. A chance to contribute early on here, driving the box down that right side, just dispossessed on the edge of the box. A long clearance from Belize. Back to the goalkeeper, Marcos Buisson into the match today. Plays in the 4th tier of French football for Le Puy as Buisson. Experienced, safe set of hands at the back for the host nation. Charles Tillett being watched very closely there by Joel Saruco, 32-year-old striker. As we see a heavy collision between two players. And the officials, as always, will be very careful here in the event of a head injury. Two players coming together for that ball in the air, and as often happens, a player in a defensive position leaning in makes contact with the player on the offensive side of things. So both players getting attention from their respective medical staffs. Belize all-time in Nations League play, 2 wins, 1 draw, and 10 defeats. 9 goals for, 24 conceded. 4 of their 7 all-time Concacaf Nation League points, though, have come against French Guiana. So perhaps they take some confidence from that. For French Guiana in Nations League play, 5 wins, 5 draws, and 3 defeats. Their goal difference is +2. They've scored 16 times in the 13 games. The last running of the competition, they were second in their group, just 2 points back of Guatemala. As we see Carlos Bernardes being helped from the field. And Bernardes looks in a position to return. He exchanges pleasantries with Zidane Charlec. And both players poised to return to the action. Meantime, the free kick ball into the box is flicked. Deep to that byline it goes, played high. Back to the edge of the area. French Guiana taking no chances, keeping the ball wide. Jordi Polanco leaves the ball for the throw-in for Deshaun Nemhard, who plays for South Georgia Tormenta FC in USL 1. Many of these players from teams in their nation's respective domestic leagues. But there are players coming from outside of that scope to contribute to these squads and to the push to advance in the Concacaf Nations League. Christian Lopez shaken up. He needed a minute to get to his feet. Lopez in a coming together there with Verlino Abioni, and perhaps caught an elbow in the process. Sixth minute from Stade Municipal, Dr. Edmard Lama. Grass pitch. Stadium with a capacity of about 1,500. And they'll be watching somewhat nervously here with this free kick. Belize trying to create a scoring opportunity and gain some confidence on their travels. There's a dangerous ball into the area, redirected and just sails high over the top of the goal. Promising service. And Carlos Bernardes did what he could to catch up to it. That's well played into the box and just at the edge of the 6. Sent over top. Positive early signs for Belize. French Guiana trying to maintain possession. They were a stronger passing team in their opening game and had better possession, but every game is a new challenge. You know, if they have their way, they want to keep the ball, have the edge in possession, manage their energy in the warm conditions. Belize coming to play. You can see the close marking there and good close control under checking from Angelo Capello. Capello draws the foul, and now he'll have a chance to send it in. His family moved to the UK when he was about 11 years old. And he's developed his game abroad, but come in to contribute here. And you see another good service into the area, and if that's a sign of things to come, Belize is in good position to find the back of the net at some point. Carlos Bernardes catching up to another well-played set piece. In the center of the park, trying to use some of the width. Attempted cross was well blocked at the defense. Krishan Lopez not allowing the ball into the area. Now this one a little bit misguided, and keeper happy to put his hands to it. Charles Tillett. No difficulty at all with the ball in the box. Bit stutter start to the game opening so far. We've seen a number of set pieces, the bulk of them in favor of Belize, and they have threatened through those set pieces with good service. Let's see what develops from open play. League B is the second division of the Concacaf Nations League, as you may know. Third season for the competition, which runs from, well, last week into November. 16 teams in League B, 4 groups of 4. Teams play home and away, round robin, within their group in the FIFA windows of this month, next month, and November. Top team in each group promoted to League A for 24-25, but relegation at the other end of the table, so lots to play for in these Nation League games. Belize looking to restart quickly. The referee Hakeem Harvey not pleased with that and explaining the situation further. And importantly, clarifying who has possession of the ball. Ulrich Pereira Souza will do that. Souza on a yellow coming into the game. Souza getting the start today ahead of Tervillis Eriksson. He came in for Eriksson partway through the last game and gets the start here. Better from French Guiana on the edge of the area. One-on-one, trying to buy some space, and into the box it goes. Dangerous as it came across the edge of the 6. Belize with a chance to settle. And they'll play it long, catching a break on the control as they'll earn possession through the throw-in. So a little something there from French Guiana, some signs of life, some movement on the edge of the box, some quality one-on-one, and a ball in. Getting the attention of the defense at the other end after the defense of French Guiana threatened on the free kicks. Clever work from Marcos Buisson, the goalkeeper. Forward and now into the middle of the park it goes. Look at the work from Belize to try and take away the freedom of Joel Saruko there, but Saruko, a big body. His team able to hold possession momentarily, but now looking for the quick strike. Belize, the through ball, ends up in changing possession. Now through the middle of the park from French Guiana. A little bit of pace to this attack. Ball into space is turned over. Now long, well-intentioned effort. The goalkeeper forced to come out and handle. He's under pressure here. And was he fouled? He was not, but he gets a bit of a break and is able to get the ball and work it forward. Came out quickly, Marcos Buisson, read it well, but then found himself in no man's land to some degree. And was able to sort things out and avoid the worst, conceding a goal to Belize early on in this contest. Krishan Lopez unable to handle the long ball sent his way. French Guiana working to play it from the back. The 1-2 off the flank, and now the long ball, trying to create a foot race, and they've done that. On the edge of the area, played back, the cut back, and the shot is just scuttled wide. That developed very quickly from French Guiana. Showed definite intent once they got possession and put the ball into a very dangerous position. That's a good opportunity. And I think the attacker was of two minds, slotting it inside the far post, or perhaps playing it to a teammate. And the ball goes harmlessly wide, but the transition ability of French Guiana shining through. Referee Akeem Harvey, clear instructions. Alruk Pereira Souza in position to serve this set piece effort. A lot of bodies forward, but options. Square as well, and that's where he'll go. He'll keep it simple, they'll work it from the halfway line. Down the left touchline, bodies came together, the ball goes out, both sides making cases. It'll be a throw in to Belize. Belize counted first in their opening match against St. Vincent and Grenadines. But it was St. Vincent and the Grenadines counting the final 2 goals of the game to take all 3 points. Goal scorer for Belize, Nana Mensah in that one. Now into the area, bouncing ball, scramble to get possession. And quickly Belize able to do so through Krishan Lopez, who handled that situation well. Seen a lot of long ball clearances from Belize, and they're surrendering possession as a consequence. French Guiana happy to have control. They'll work it ahead. Pereira Souza coming forward. Center backs managing the middle of the park at this stage, sending their teammates forward. Ball takes a deflection, and coming together was the defender with the Belize forward, Carlos Bernardez, and Bernardez a little shaken up there, tries to get position, looking for the ball, and then that foot comes up and catches him in the midsection. Once again, Belize with the long clearance, and once again, Pereira Souza begins things from the back for French Guiana. Slotted that long pass ahead. Colino. Abioni. This is better from French Guiana. Now they'll look for a way through. The ball forced just a little, knocked down at the defense and played ahead. Now here comes the counterattack from Belize. They've threatened from set pieces. Can they do something from the run of play here? Nice exchange there. Jordi Polanco gets his head up, slots a ball through that has some definite possibilities to it. In the end, just shepherded out by the defender, but that was promising from Belize. Spotted a gap, slotted the ball through, created a race, and forced French Guiana to pay close attention. Guisan launches it, taken from the air. Aerial battle continues, and Belize is able to settle things and gain possession. Charles Tillett controls. Tillett, the all-time saves leader for Belize in Nations League history. 41 saves to his name heading into the match. Dangerous play at the back there. Good support from the defenders, though, helping each other out. Pressure from Belize causing some problems. And now French Guiana forced to play from tight spaces. Good step there from Krishan Lopez to get in and break things up, force French Guiana to start from the throw, and they're trying to work their way out of the back. Finding it difficult to do so. That's good marking from Belize. Polanco onto it, gets to the middle of the park. He wanted to send an effort goalward, was knocked down, and then a foul is called. Referee Hakeem Harvey taking a moment to talk with one of the French Guiana players. There was a little exchange after the whistle blew there as Polanco protected the ball. It was a coming together. And Harvey, the referee, just ensuring that there's not a lot of afters in this game and it's played in the right spirit. Zidane Charlec, 23-year-old, plays with Etoile Maturi in the French Guiana League. One of several players from that club in uniform for French Guiana. Everell Trapp trying to work from the back, had his clearing effort ricochet out of bounds. Dusan Nemhard with the throw. French Guiana very quickly winning possession. Just about at the midway mark of this opening half, no score to report, with Belize threatening the goal on a couple of free kicks, and French Guiana having the share of possession in a few forays into the Belize penalty area. The numbers on your screen demonstrating that edge in possession quite dramatically at 63% in favor of the home side, which was probably to be expected coming into the game, given the seedings, given the fact that they are the home side, and given that the way that French Guiana played in its opener at Bermuda, where it had a wide edge in shots and shots on goal. Now looking for something offensively here. Played to the right edge of the box, right back to the middle. Bounding around, the shot is blocked at the defense. Eugene Martinez, well positioned for some desperation defending, and prevented the shot from getting to the target. You feel it's coming for French Guiana, so long as they don't expose themselves to counterattacks in the process. Manager of French Guiana is Jean-Claude Darcheville, longtime striker who played in France and England and Scotland and Greece. He'll be looking for his team to find a way to get the 3 points here. Set things up for the next window, when French Guiana takes on St. Vincent and Grenadines, home and away. It'll be home and away for Belize and Bermuda in that next window. Ball over the top. Man in behind for French Guiana. Needed a moment to control. Takes the support, puts the ball on target, does that support, and Tillett makes the easy catch. Belize will be satisfied if those are the chances that they give to French Guiana in the game. 25, 30-yard shots with not a lot of steam behind them will not be difficult for Charles Tillett, who plays for Progresso FC in Belize. Now to the attack, Belize. Trying to get some numbers forward. Meanwhile, in the middle of the park, doing a nice job to advance the play, and now a chance to cut through for Krishan Lopez, and he just couldn't get past his defender. Good recovery defending to make sure that Krishan Lopez didn't get in on goal. Throw taken quickly, wise move. Attacking the area, Carlos Bernardez looks centrally. And French Guiana satisfied with the long clearance. Good exchange in the middle of the field. Here they come with pace. Trying to get some of those jerseys forward, those yellow jerseys and blue shorts working their way forward. This one played to the middle and headed away at the defense. Everal Trapp reading the situation expertly and breaking it up. Feels like a game that has some goals in it from what we've seen in the opening 25 minutes. And the old saying, goals change games. We'll see if that unfolds as this game moves along. One-on-one work there and some nice technique from Yvelin Nozil. But there to break it up defense, Everal Trapp. Well, we talked about the conditions, the temperature in and around 30 degrees Celsius throughout the day, and so the players are going to take a moment for hydration, and that's well advised. French Guiana with the edge territorially in the game so far. Nobody able to break through just yet. But it's been entertaining watching, just because the feeling that there are goals to come in the game, whether it be from the set piece play of Belize, the counterattacking play of Belize, or French Guiana out of possession. They have held the ball well at times, at other times forced things and turned it over. Shots showing as 3-2 in favor of French Guiana at this stage. From the hydration break now, a corner kick for the home side. They've filled that box with yellow shirts. Now the ball is played in, and it's not a good one. And it's a hand up from the corner taker, recognizing he's got to give his team a chance to get all the bodies forward. You want to put it in there to see if you can threaten the goal, and that just didn't provide the opportunity. Albione may have even slipped a little bit as he came to take that corner kick. The left foot didn't look entirely secure. Tillett with the lofted ball. It's won by the defender, and now racing down the right side, a bit of an opening. Yvelin Nozil showing speed, now showing patience, waiting for the overlap. Opts not to take it, and then tries to force it to the support, and the ball changes hands. That's disappointing from Nozil down that right side. You see the frustration. Good reaction there defensively, though, to stop the play, not allow Belize out. and see if they can get the ball back under control. And that was a little heavy-handed. Belize will earn the free kick. Zidane Charlek committing the foul. Almost at the half-hour mark, 0-0, French Guiana and Belize. Great to have you along for this one. Concacaf Nations League, League B play, Group C. French Guiana, the 15th seed, Belize, the 29th seed. French Guiana with a point from its opener, Belize coming away empty-handed from a contest against St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Good job to win the ball in the middle of the park by Polanco, and then he played it to a teammate who was taken down, and that will stop the play. We've seen a number of fouls from French Guiana in defending. There's a size difference between the two teams, but they're going to want to manage that. They've got a couple of players on yellows in striker Yusu and Alric Pereira Souza, both of those players with a yellow from the opening game. If they're to receive a second yellow of the competition, they'll sit out a match. And Jimmy Bennis shown yellow here in the 30th minute. So that's two central defenders on yellow cards for French Guiana. David Perez, the Spanish manager of Belize, looking on. Also manages Verdes FC in the top flight. Free kick high and too strong to be of any use for Belize that time. They've had a couple of good free kicks that created headed chances from inside the box. Those free kicks coming from left-footed service from the right side of the pitch. And that a different kind of service that didn't work out this time. Guiana starts it out from the back. Not much in the way of a press, so they'll work it ahead, but that ball is knocked down. Belize opting to lay off a little bit, put up more of a block inside their own half. And they've been able to break things up somewhat consistently so far. There's a coming together. Coming in with the big tackle was Deshaun Edmard. And he is called for the foul as a consequence. Alric Pereira Souza on the wrong end of that. Souza needing extended attention here. It's worth noting that he started the game today after coming in for Tervillis Eriksson in the first game. They don't want to have to go to their bench in the first half as they did in the first game. They certainly don't want to start messing around in central defense any further. So Pereira receives the cooling spray and a chance to catch his breath a little bit, well attended to by the athletic therapist. He's going to step to the side, prepare to return to play. It looks like, fortunately, he's okay. And it's a throw-in, play back underway. That ball softly played ahead, carelessly by Polanco, picked up by French Guiana, and they'll gladly head back to the offense. Long searching ball over the top and safely taken by Charles Tillett, who watched it from some distance. You can see that French Guiana feels it can do something offensively with the possession. And they're trying to find that right balance between keeping the possession but being at the perimeter and finding ways through to create scoring chances. And sometimes when you take that chance, you end up giving the ball to the other side, as happened a moment ago. Polanco spun around. He goes to ground. The foul is awarded. Polanco very quickly closed down by Zidane Charlec, but there was just too much contact. Now Belize to the attack on the edge of the area, and that's good defending, picking the pocket and working the ball ahead. However, control not there, and it is turned over. Belize thought it had something on the edge of the area, but are very quickly forced back. And they'll go all the way back to Tillett. French Guiana held goalless in its opening game against Bermuda. Belize scored once but lost. Teams looking for points, and they're going to need some offense to find 3 points from this one. French Guiana leads the Nations League series between the two teams over the years. It's only been a few years, but 2 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. Belize trying to change that, and the long-range effort is more hopeful than dangerous. Eldon Renault, the 20-year-old, also from Verdes FC, with the inkling to shoot. Referee Harvey has clearly asserted himself as the man in charge of the match, has communicated extensively throughout. And we're back at it. Thumped away at the edge of the D. And French Guiana starts from the back. A little more pressure higher up the pitch from Belize than we've seen at other times in this opening 45 minutes. And Calino now widens things. Comes back centrally. Back for Calino. Gives it off. Runs the flank. Ball sent in the middle instead. Taken down at the edge of the area and then just failing to manage it. Belize happy to clear. And this is a safety first long distance clearance. You can see the principles here for French Guiana. They're going wide in terms of stretching the width, coming back to the middle, looking for exchanges in the middle of the park. Straightforward stuff, but none of them have that cutting edge so far. And another threat fizzles at the end into the hands of the keeper, Tillett. Belize trying to string a series of passes together. They're looking for a foul there. They don't get it. The referee perfectly positioned. To the attack, French Guiana trying to thrill this home crowd on these hot conditions. On a pitch that's a little bit uneven. The shot from long range lacks any sting or purpose, and Tillett comfortable making the save. Center back Ulrich Pereira Souza getting forward, and finding himself with a pretty good avenue there to send the ball on target, but lacked the purchase he was looking for. They'll go over to the top and down this right flank. Pace to get to it, but good defending coming across and deflecting it out. Deshaun Nemhard, 28-year-old, playing in Georgia in USL 1. He came over and made a really important intervention there. French Guiana trying to provide better service from this corner kick than the last, and it's into a decent spot, but nobody there in French Guiana colors, and Belize is able to push it away. Long ball played ahead. Only one Belize player there in an advanced position in Krishan Lopez following the corner kick. But French Guiana opting to play it out, take no chances. Five minutes plus any time added on to go in the opening half between these two sides, and nothing to separate them where it matters most, and that's on the scoreboard. Bouncing ball lashed at by Angelo Capello, and he just didn't get the contact he would have liked. Trap, Mensah, and back again. Mensah, the goal getter in game number 1 for Belize, just helping his team to get some touches and work it forward from station to station, from the back to the middle to the front. Now they go over the top in search of a breakthrough from Krishan Lopez. That doesn't materialize. Plenty of Belize players in the middle of the field there to break things up, and now they'll head to the attack. A good idea there from Bernardez, but he just couldn't get it over the top to allow his teammate to get in behind. Mensah, little space to play it out to the right. Now they surge forward down that right side. Play is onside. They drive the box to the area, and the shot is just wide. Charging down the right side, Belize getting into a good position and just unable to hit the target and threaten the goalkeeper. Marcos Puissant saw himself eye to eye with the oncoming Capello, who didn't get as inside as he would have liked to in making his way past the defender, and that played into the difficulty of the chance for the attacking player. Forced to shoot from a wide angle and just couldn't find the target. But that's the kind of thing that Belize has hinted at in this game, an ability to counter, to have some pace up front, and then in addition to manufacture things off of set pieces. And this is more what we've seen from French Guiana throughout. Possession and just kind of failing to have that vital touch at the finishing end. Final minutes of the opening half. Well worked to the middle, the chance, and it just doesn't fall for the oncoming French Guiana player, who got himself into a terrific position there and just couldn't get a good boot on it. Ferlino Albioni, 31-year-old, found himself with plenty of space, but also found himself with a bouncing ball, and that's difficult to manage. He does earn the corner kick. Corner kicks in the half, all belonging to French Guiana. And here's another to the edge of the 6. It's knocked down, and then first to it, Belize they'll get the clearance. Capello trying to hold up, wait for some reinforcements. Flips one out, looking for Renault. Capello 21, Renault 20, a couple of youngsters. Part of this Belize 11. Gaining valuable experience on the Nations League stage. Lots of pacing, lots of energy, lots of anxiousness over in the French Guiana dugout. They want to win at home. And it's just not happening as quickly as they would like. Final minute of normal time here in the opening 45. 0-0, French Guiana Belize. From Stade Municipal, Dr. Edmard Lama. On a hot, hot day in the month of September. Game 2 for each of these teams. Lofted out to the left. Settled down, bounced in front, and headed from 7 yards out. And that was a dangerous opportunity. Miguel Abo left to his own devices and may have been surprised to find himself so open as he pulled off the defender and just did not get a lot on that header. He got it downward, but didn't get a lot on it, and that's partly due to the service as well, but French Guiana will feel that was a chance. Bailey is now just trying to get to the changing rooms for halftime on even terms. French Guiana feeling it a little bit. And boy, would they love a late first half goal, but it's a goal kick here. So 2 minutes of time, a minimum thereof, added on. As we work through the first half of this Group C matchup. The other contest in the group today, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, trying to get to 2 wins from 2 outings, taking on Bermuda, who drew with French Guiana 0-0 in that opening match day for the teams. Belize satisfied to keep it simple. Not afford anything to their hosts over the final seconds of this opening half. And start fresh in half number 2. Ball quickly back into play. Lots of white shirts around the yellow jerseyed French Guiana player, but the foul was committed, and that's unnecessary. We've got the numbers around them. They're not going to get anywhere. They commit the foul, and they'll give the ball to the host team looking for something late in this opening 45. You can see them directing traffic, getting bodies forward. Long, high ball to the edge of the 18, chested down. Can they get control for something late on? Challenging well, defending very well, Krishan Lopez. And as that situation comes to an end for French Guiana, the first half comes to an end. In this one on the edge of Cayenne. And it's 0-0 through the opening half of play. David Perez having a word with the officials. But nothing to separate the two teams through the opening 45 minutes in this one. Very interesting contest, a contrast of styles. French Guiana with possession and able to move the ball through the different phases, but unable to get anything going really in close. And Belize, lots of direct play, lots of long clearances, chance or two from set pieces. And we've got ourselves a game that's all square after the opening 45 minutes. One caution in the first half. That was to central defender Jimmy Bennis of French Guiana. And French Guiana now with 3 players on yellows to this stage of the competition. Only Conan Clare on yellow on the other side. And Clare not in the lineup for Belize in the game, at least to this point. So 45 minutes complete. French Guiana at home in a contest against Belize. Both teams looking for their first win. And at this stage, both teams looking for their first goal in the match. 0-0 at the break. Welcome back to Stade Municipal. Dr. Edmard Lama on the edge of Cayenne in French Guiana. We're enjoying Group C action from the Concacaf Nations League B. French Guiana, the 15th seed, up against Belize, the 29th seed. And we're deadlocked. It's a goalless draw as the teams get set to begin the second 45. Belize, the visitors, are in the white with blue. French Guiana, the home side, in the gold, predominantly gold uniforms, or yellow. And we begin the half on even terms. It is scoreless. Bermuda holding French Guiana scoreless in the opening game for French Guiana. They've got a single point coming in. Belize was beaten by 2-1 in a home match against St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So both teams goalless in this one, and both teams in search of win number 1 in Group C action here in League B. Second half is underway. Travelers attacking from left to right. They had the edge in the opening half, did Belize, in shots at 6-5, but did not have the edge in possession. They had just 39% possession. And French Guiana back to the attack, looking for more of that possession in the second half. Foul called on the edge of the penalty area. French Guiana took 10 of the 15 fouls in the opening half. Their size advantage perhaps overused. But it's a foul here that presents a real potential here for offense for French Guiana, as the referee, Hakeem Harvey, says, "On my whistle." We see in set piece threats from Belize. What's in store here from French Guiana? Plenty of numbers in the box. Served in a good spot. The header in tight is just deflected away. Quick recovery though to regain possession, keep the danger going until the clearance sends the ball aside. So French Guiana showing the potential to put a scare into their opponent from the set piece as well. Both sides have demonstrated that capacity to some degree over the first half and a little here. The next window comes up next month. French Guiana goes home and home with St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Well, Belize goes home and home with Bermuda. And that's a bit clumsy in the middle of the park, and you see why Carlos Bernardez is going to need a moment. Zidane Charlec sees yellow. So that brings to 4 the number of French Guiana players on cautions already in the competition. Ball sent forward right to the edge of the 18 and easily knocked away. Now a one-on-one battle to ensure they don't break back with speed, and Angelo Capello did a good job there, getting himself in good body position and holding off the charging player from French Guiana. Now Polanco will give it to the aforementioned Capello. Ball in the air, the edge of the box, not dealt with completely, and the shot sails over the bar as Marcos Buisson, the goalkeeper, outstretches his arms and looks at his defense as if to say, there's a better way to deal with that. Yeah, the ball not convincingly cleared whatsoever, and doing a nice job to put it in shooting position, Krishan Lopez, who just failed to get over top of it. Something from nothing there for Belize. Now turned over in a difficult area. And a bit of grabbing going on as well, and we're going to see another yellow card from the referee Harvey. This time to Miguel Habo. So Abo, the 33-year-old from Etoile Masquerie, vastly experienced player, found himself wrong-sided and in desperation reached up, put the grab on. In rapid succession here in the second half. 2 cautions the way of the host nation. That can change the approach of a team. We've got 3 players on yellow cards, including a center back, and a key player in the midfield. So we'll watch how French Guiana navigates this bit of a minefield here in the second 45. In the meantime, a central opportunity for Angelo Capello. We'll see what Capello's got in mind with his left peg. Everybody's in place. Will there be a spectacular breakthrough here? And it's sent goalward. It just misses the intersection of post and crossbar. Capello hands to his head as he nearly shaped it into that postage stamp in spectacular fashion. That's not a bad effort at all that had Marcos Buisson scrambling. Now Belize is forced to scramble a little bit in defense. So a few things of note in the opening moments of the second half. A couple of cautions and a close call. Belize almost finding the target. That yellow card is getting a workout from referee Harvey. Out of the pocket for a Belize player for the first time. It's Nana Mensah, their goal scorer, who ends up cautioned. Goal scorer from their opening leg of the event. Belize had 1 player cautioned in its first game. That player not on the pitch at the moment in McConan Clare. Again, lots of bodies forward. French Guiana lofts it into the box, edge of the 6, headed, and then down harmlessly wide in the end. Not a lot of pace on the ball. Difficult to get much on it with the head. Not sure there was a lot of expectation for a result there. Middle of the park. Neatly forward. A little bit more width here. There's an overlap on the right. That has bypassed the shot from distance. Pretty optimistic. And it'll turn into a goal kick for Charles Tillett. Tillett directing traffic, opting not to play short and have his teammates work from the back. And he serves it into a crowd, flipped in the air. Coming together there. Bernard has shaken up a little bit. Play will continue. French Guiana working well through a crowded portion of the pitch. Now some pace down the left side. Into the box. Played to the middle and just cleared on the edge of that 6. Yvelin Ozil gesturing from beyond the touchline as he reflects on the moment. That cutback had some pace on it, and there were options there. Just failed to connect. Ozil has shown pace and shown some capacity to influence things at the attacking end. Look at the wind. You can really see it on the corner flags. You may have noticed it on the players' jerseys. At the backs of the home team. Players will want to keep the ball on the deck, try and manage the situation. long lofted ball from Belize. That's handled smartly at the back. Couple of passes to work through the middle of the field. French Guiana with Menacir working forward. Good pace to this march. Into the box it goes, and just not in a position for Joel Seruco, who looked like he could be the danger man, as he's proven to be in the past. Productive forward. Seruco, watch that ball come right across his plate. He looked like he was just about ready for something special and couldn't quite get it done. First substitution of the match. A change for Belize as we get another look at that a moment ago. That's a lovely ball played through by Miguel Abo. And just no one on the other end to be able to do anything with it. Nana Mensah will come off. And coming into the match, Daryl Maivet, 29-year-old from Verdes FC in Belize. And Daryl started the last game. He's on now as a substitute. So the first change for David Perez. Charlek out wide, then it comes back into the center circle from beyond that halfway line, looking deep to the left. And a tough ball to track down, especially in these hot conditions. Alan Barrias with the throw. Did it ever come into play? It did not. He's going to take it again. 24-year-old with Altitude FC, Alan Barrias. Playing on the right side of that back four. Now coming up to try and advance the play. He gets caught out of possession, and away goes French Guiana. And a little difficulty there along the left side, and it goes out of play. Coming up on the hour mark, French Guiana at home to Belize, no score so far. It's a game that feels like it has goals in it at times. And it would be very interesting to see what unfolds as one of these sides does break through. Important game for both of these teams to find 3 points, with neither of them harvesting 3 from their opening adventure. On to the ball, the substitute, Daryl Maivet. Belize just sending it out and absorbing a little bit here as we get closer to the hour mark. High ball with that wind behind it. Push the ball long a little bit. Gathered along the left flank. Nifty little bit of footwork there. Now just a good old-fashioned battle to see if one can get past the other. And the defending side comes away. Well read and broken up. It's a good job by Zidane Charlek. Gets his team the ball and they'll just back up and start fresh. Possession of the game has been pretty consistent. Right along the lines of 60-40 in favor of the home side. Here's a chance on the ball for the visiting team, and they're working with pace through the middle of the park. That one, though, too much on it for anybody to deal with, and right back into the control of French Guiana. Everybody playing for promotion trying to get an opportunity to advance into League A, and of course on the other end avoid relegation to League C as it comes in, and from 5 yards out, that was dangerous and just bounces wide. Lunging forward, Joel Saruco, and Saruco right there couldn't find a way to get it on target. A man with a history of goals and just about added to his total there. Saruco with 5 goals all time in Nations League play for French Guiana. "16 teams in League B are made up of 12 teams from last season and 4 promoted sides from League C. Back after a 1-year absence, St. Lucia and St. Kitts and Nevis, Puerto Rico and St. Martin involved as well. As darting forward is Angelo Capello, looking to create. And a lot of bounce to the ball on this pitch. And trying to play out of the back can be ill-advised at times. It was a problem there for French Guiana. And Belize happy to get some time in the attacking third. Capello has his ball knocked down. It'll carry him. And will it go for the corner kick? It will. And talked at times about the ability of Belize from set pieces. They have not shown what they can do from corner kicks just yet. They get a chance here without a corner kick in the first half. They have one here, lofted to the back part of the area, knocked down, at least the back part of the 6. Knocked down, and in the end, not a problem for French Guiana. A couple of substitutions now coming for the home team. Players feel that they know what the moves are, but the fourth official ensuring that the details are correct before going ahead with the process. So play will resume. Down that left side, bit of a foot race, finding a way to stay in good position, Barrias, and then he gets some support. And the ball will go to Belize as a result of a foul. So just past the hour mark, and there's the foul. You can see hands on the defender from Evelino Zil, and no choice for the referee Hakeem Harvey. Control along that right side, walking the tightrope down that right side. Capello, who's been perhaps the most dangerous attacking presence for Belize. And he goes down. Foul is called, and Belize with a free kick in a decent position here. By the way, a housekeeping detail, if you haven't been updated on the lineup so far in the match, there was a change at halftime for French Guiana, as coming off was the left back striker Yusu, and coming on in his place was Enric Ball, as the ball is played into that area, into a difficult spot. And now another opportunity for Capello. He'll flip it into the air, the back post, it's down, and it's in. It's a goal for Belize. The visitors have done it. They've taken the lead in the game. They haven't had possession, but they've got the game's first goal. Belize from close range with the header in minute 64. And how about that? beaten 2-1 by St. Vincent and the Grenadines in their opener. Belize on top against Bermuda. Excuse me, Belize on top against French Guiana. There the ball is won by Capello. He hoists it towards the back stick. Down with the header it goes and in. And it's Jordi Polanco who is the hero at this stage of the match. Polanco getting his team in front. Massive goal. Polanco and Capello have combined on a few occasions in this game, but none more significant than that. And we've got the game's opening goal. Jordi Polanco putting his team ahead. Now, how will they manage it? How will this game be altered by the fact we've got a goal? There was an awkward moment there as the player ran into the signage and had to adjust at the very last moment. Wow, flying over Daryl Maivet, and Maivet has done exceptionally well to avoid injury. Maivet coming into the game as a substitution, or by way of substitution. French Guiana looking for the quick reply. This one down, kick towards the goal with not a lot on it, and Charles Tillett will squeeze it very happily. Henrik Ball, the halftime substitute, sending it towards the net, but not very difficult for Tillett in the end. Well, mentioned it a few times. It looked like a game that had goals in it. And wondered what it would be like if one of the teams broke through. That's happened now. Belize has counted and scored the game's opening goal. Polanco, 27-year-old for Verdes FC, has Belize on top. What will that do to the match? Certainly has to create a certain amount of desperation for French Guiana. After a draw in their opening game, high hopes of pushing for promotion. They can ill afford to lose at home. Here as that one sails towards the far post. I don't think there was intention. I think cross was the idea there from Carlos Bernardes, but the ball drifted into the hands of Marcos Buisson. See some pressure here up higher on the pitch. A little more urgency from French Guiana to walk that fine line. Push for chances, avoid opening up and conceding again. Still plenty of time. We are past the hour mark, but 23 minutes plus stoppages, all kinds of time for more drama, more excitement from this one. And here's an opportunity with numbers forward. Capello trying to find his way through, blasted, and he puts it in. Capello! And sensational goal. Angelo Capello found himself with some space, used his speed, and then a sensational hit. And the lead has been doubled. Belize leads by 2-0. Goals 4 minutes apart. How about this from Capello? Looked like he got it caught in his feet, pushed it by the defender, and really belted that one past an outstretched Marcos Buisson. So Capello is the provider on the 1-0 goal, and he is the scorer on the 2-0 goal. And my, how things have changed in a short period of time. And that's going to change the players on the pitch as well, as Jean-Claude Darcheville is making a swap. Loic Ball comes off, and into the game, Jules Abo. Abo is a forward. Loic Ball, a midfielder. pretty clear what the mission is here. They need goals. Rapid fire strikes for Belize, and they've got a lead of 2-0. Belize in the Nations League with a record of 2 wins, 1 draw, and 10 losses. Are they in position here for that 3rd ever victory? Certainly appears that way, but there's work to do to see it out. Remember, we've seen the bulk of the possession to French Guiana in the game. Eldon Renault bringing it forward. Polanco, the goal scorer, working away from marking. Belize with some possession. French Guiana with some desperation. Renault. And that one not working out, but you can see from the reaction of Marcos Buisson, he'd like better from his team. Buisson starting in the match today after Donovan Leon had played the opening game. And here's another yellow that's being shown from the referee. Let's see where this is going. 3 players with yellows already. Benes, Charlec, and Miguel Abo. And the referee, Harvey, is having a word with the assistant. This is Zidane Charlec who is being shown yellow, and you know what that means. Charlec, 2 yellows equals red, and he's out of the match. Second yellow, Zidane Charlec. And now things really becoming difficult for French Guiana. They concede goals in minutes 64 and 68. And then it's a second yellow, meaning red, for Zidane Charlec shortly thereafter. Charlec charging in, colliding with the substitute Daryl Mivett. And that will spell the end of the game for Charlec. So down 2 goals, and now down a man, French Guiana. Boy, things have changed in a very short period of time here. And now you'd have to think this is Belize's 3 points to take care of, especially if they add a 3rd here. From the corner kick, knocked away at the defense. Trying to avoid the corner kick. Still alive in the area instead, and this is dangerous. Touched from short range and just about finding the back of the net. We've got an indication from referee Harvey that there would not have been a goal if it had crossed the line. Again, once more taking the opportunity is referee Harvey to go over and talk to the assistant on the near side. And the team's at 73 minutes pausing for a drinks break. David Perez, the Spanish manager of Belize, with good energy over near that dugout. He is very pleased with what he has seen from his team, and that's understandable. Jean-Claude Darcheville's French Guiana finding themselves in a very difficult spot. Who would have thought it coming into the game today? French Guiana, the highest ranked team in League B, or second highest ranked team in League B, the highest ranked team in Group C. And after a 0-0 opening game against Bermuda, they find themselves down by a pair here. And on 10 men. 15 minutes plus stoppage time to find a way back and salvage something from this. Be quite remarkable if French Guiana is able to earn a share of the points here. But we have seen rapid fire goals in the game already. Bernardez, outnumbered but making his way forward. Dispossessed. French Guiana finding ways to maintain possession, working towards the attacking third. Overlapping player, but the ball doesn't go that way. It goes into the box instead. And French Guiana will have to be responsible in some ways while they look for offense, because on 10 men they can really expose themselves to the counterattack. Capello hooks one in there and was a bit ambitious, hurried that, and has let French Guiana off the hook. Long ball played to the edge of the box, cleared away by Belize. They've had their ups and downs in managing those balls and getting them well cleared. Very nicely handled here, and leading to a spell of control. The extra player should be a real benefit. No hurry, not forcing things. Now sending the ball long, and that's where they'll need to be careful. I'm sure David Perez feels there's no need to do things that could give easy possession to French Guiana. Renault to Polanco opened the scoring. 0-0 at the break, then 2 goals 4 minutes apart here in the second half. Have Belize on top, and they're also with an extra player as a consequence of a second yellow to Zidane Charlek. Battle in the middle of the park for possession. Foul was what they were looking for, doesn't come. Here's another break, charging into the box, taking the shot, and just not getting a lot on it was Capello. We've seen him do big things with the left foot, not as much from the right that time, but dangerous once again from Angelo Capello. 21-year-old who plays in the UK, now in behind the defense, but the flag is up as the goalkeeper comes out. Tillett reacting as though he got caught with a boot as he came out to break up the play. And Tillett's going to need just a moment. In fact, medical assistance coming out to check on the Belize number 1. Just one change on the Belize side, with Daryl Maibet coming into the game in place of Nana Mensah. 4 changes now in all on the other side as you get a look at the shots on target. And this now appears to be the 5th and final move as Alain Clay comes in. And with the red card, remember, just 10 men for French Guiana. Clay, a 37-year-old who plays up front and will be looked to here to make a difference down the stretch. So Enric Ball came on at halftime. Sullivan, Jules Abo, and Warren Reno into the game, now joined by Clay. Belize by 2, a dozen minutes to go in the 90. in the middle of the park will take a hop for Capello. Offside given on the play, and French Guiana right back at it. There is no time to waste. Substitution for Belize. Coming into the game, Zion Ramos, and coming out, the very effective Angelo Capello. Capello setting one up, scoring another, and Belize in position for a famous Concacaf Nations League victory. Played to the keeper, Tillett. He comes out quickly. Forward where it's held up nicely. Played on by Polanco. Once again, just slowing the play down, managing the ball. Polanco with company. He'll get away from that pressure. Makes himself available, and then they play it back. This is the challenge French Guiana faces now. Down by 2, down a player. And with the Belize team content to take seconds off the referee's watch. Polanco a little bit careless there, though. Reached out with that left boot, and he'll see yellow. So Polanco on a caution. Sullivan got that free kick in, and it caused a bit of a scramble at the back, but no threat. French Guiana back on it. Belize satisfied to dump it and make their host start over again. Belize last beat French Guiana. In fact, earned their only win against French Guiana in Nations League play in the 1920 season. That's 2019-2020 season. A 2-0 victory for Belize. Ian Lewis and Dion McCauley scoring on that day. Different scores, same score line today for Belize, who could leapfrog their opponent today in the table with the 3 points. Coming in, it was French Guiana with the point, and Belize seeking its first. But a vital few minutes here in the second half have set this one up very much in favor of Belize. The onus on French Guiana to make something happen. Ball driven long. There's space down that left side, but too much on that ball to be caught up to. And it's time for some fresh ideas for French Guiana. We saw for the bulk of the opening 45 and first few minutes of the second half their capacity to keep the ball. And they've moved it to the edge of the box a few times, but just haven't been able to turn that edge of possession into anything for them. Shots are 12-7 in favor of Belize. Possession is 57-43 in favor of French Guiana. That doesn't matter. What matters is the scoreboard now. Is there a way back? Lengthy ball down the left side. Into the attacking third. This is where they need to make things happen as the sun begins to set. Played into the box, a man down, calling for the penalty kick. That's not coming from referee Harvey. Ball forced out to the side, was deflected back into the middle, and ball distributes. Smart defending out wide, winning it back for Belize. One-on-one situation here and a good opportunity for some hold-up play. And Bernardes does just that. Now he has some support in the form of Renault. Bernardes went to the middle, drew the coverage, still had Renault available, couldn't find him, and French Guiana, a desperate side, back in control. Just trying to make something out of nothing here and making it easier for Belize to defend. There's a change of possession. Belize knocking it away at the back. On to the right side for the aforementioned Renault. He's one-on-one, tries to get by his man, gets a little bit of space. Now tries the angled shot, and the goalkeeper Buisson did enough to force the ball away from the goal. Not a lot in the way of numbers forward for Belize here. They're not looking for goals. They're trying to manage this game, see it out. '87th minute, 2-0 Belize with the advantage. Facing 10-man French Guiana. Renault has done a wonderful job here in the second half, helping Belize with possession, helping them to manage the referee's watch. Comes out wide to the right for Ramos. Ramos, Bernardes, centrally Polanco. Back out for Ramos. He's going to take his time. Remember, it's not about adding another goal here. It's about ensuring victory for Belize. Free kick coming. And given the context of the situation, you don't see a lot of white shirts coming forward. We have seen Carlos Bernardes taking time after stoppages in play to deal with some sort of an issue. It seems like he's not at 100% fitness. Close quarters for Zion Ramos and Jordi Polanco, and they'll keep it simple. No need to thrust the ball in the box and get caught on a counter. Polanco in the 64th, Capello in the 68th. Those are the goals for Belize. The other big talking point of the second half, Zidane Charlec shown a second yellow and sent off with about 20 minutes to go in the 90. French Guiana just having a devil of a time getting to the ball at all here in the dying moments of the 90. Three players gather in the corner, find a way to come away with it without fouling. Now the ball in a potentially dangerous area, sent ahead, and it will go out off of Eugene Martinez. Well, a long way back and a short time to get there for French Guiana as we head towards the end of normal time. Triple late substitution for David Perez's Belize. Andir Chi, Elen Sayala, and Michael Palacio getting set to come in. Eldon Renault has run his race, 20-year-old with a very strong performance. He comes out. Rushan Lopez making his way over as well. Lopez has turned in a good performance. And we wondered about Carlos Bernardez and if he was at full fitness. And looks like Bernardez will be coming off for Palacio as actually Christian Lopez walks away from the touchline. So Bernardez heads off after a taxing shift and is greeted by a pat on the back and a handshake. Into second half added time now. Belize with a lead of 2-0, playing away. Come up with a big second half performance here and are on the edge of a memorable performance. Memorable result for their nation as they seek that success in the Nations League that's been hard to come by down the last few years. This would be a third ever victory in the competition. Is there a third goal in this for them? A substitute. Palacio is onto it, whipped one centrally, and then put his hands on the player working forward. Benes taken down. Just a brush. Enough for the foul, and French Guiana back at it. Goalless after the opening 45. 2 second half strikes separate the teams. Everything's got to go forward for French Guiana. Marcos Buisson sends it ahead. A little bit of space in the midfield that quickly disappeared. French Guiana really wants to let the ball do the work. Travel some ground here in a short amount of time. They've got to get the ball into that attacking third and see if there is some sort of miracle possible here. But credit to Belize, they've handled the situation well since going on top. Aided by being up a man as well, of course. French Guiana into the box. That one blocked at the defense. It will carry him out of bounds and result in a corner kick as the referee takes a look at his watch. A little bit of room, a little bit of time, and that one not what they were looking for down the stretch here. Now an opportunity cleared right off the goal line or just away from it. Some last-ditch defending. And the ball back to French Guiana. You know there's going to be a lot of pressure here from the end, at least you'd expect it. And it's coming now to some degree. Belize trying to find a way through. Driven corner kick causes all kinds of problems. They lash at it, it ricochets, I mean mayhem, and eventually cleared off the line. What a sequence. So close to conceding, but still with plenty of breathing room. Found their way through it. Sullivan played the ball ahead. It was intercepted at the defense. Eugene Martinez looking strong, moved it forward. And now the whistle from the referee. It is full time, and it is party time for Belize. 2 second half goals, and they've downed French Guiana. They've come to Stade Municipal, Dr. Edmard, Lama, and come away with a victory. Belize with 2 second half goals, One from Polanco, one from Capello. And they take it by 2-0. Just 4 minutes apart. Jordi Polanco got it started. Angelo Capello followed it up with an absolute peach. And it's a 2-0 victory. Clean sheet for Charles Tillett. And Belize, who lost 2-1 versus St. Vincent and the Grenadines to get the competition started, are into the win column. While French Guiana is left in search of its first victory as it heads to match day number 3, the next window coming up next month, when Belize will go home and away with Bermuda, and French Guiana will go away then home versus St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Possession favored the home side, but the chances, they broke for the visitors, who scored twice in the second half and then get the job done against the 10 men of French Guiana. The final score, Belize 2 and French Guiana 0. Strong performance leads to a big result. Here's a look back on the action in the match. First half highlights, and we saw some set piece threats from Belize, who did not have the edge in possession, but had the edge in terms of shots through some set piece work. There were chances from the possession of French Guiana, but there were chances like that, bouncing balls and just timing being a little bit off. And they were unable to find a way through in that first 45. That was clever and close from Miguel Abo, and he just didn't get a lot on it. As the first half came to a close, the two teams deadlocked 0-0. Second half, and boy, things really took a turn. French Guiana had some looks early, but then things went the way of Belize. Angelo Capello very nearly striking there from the free kick. At the other end, there was a look from Saruco. But then things change. Terrific work by Capello to dispossess the defender. He gets the ball to Polanco, and at 64 minutes, it's a lead for Belize. And look at the reaction from the bench. And they weren't done. Back for more, and this is magnificent. The run and the hit right from the top drawer. Capello makes it a 2-0 game, 2 goals in 4 minutes. And Belize large and in charge. There were a few looks, including that bit of mayhem in the penalty area in the very late stages. But there would not be a breakthrough for French Guiana. And it's into the win column for Belize. They take it by 2-0 on their travels in this one. And for Belize, it's a third ever Nations League victory. Running down your stats to wrap this one up. And you can see the possession favored the hosts. But the bottom line was that Belize turned 13 total shots into 2 goals and a vital 3 points in Concacaf Nations League League B action. Belize 29th, the lowest rated team in the group, and they come away with a big win on the road. Those goals in rapid succession in the second half, taking care of things for them and earning the victory. Belize takes it by 2-0 over French Guiana. For everybody who works to bring you the action of CONCACAF Nations League play, thanks for joining us. So long until next time. I'm Mitch Peacock.